Hi, my name is Olivia, and this is my peer evaluation on the conversation project, and I chose Carissa's conversation project to evaluate. To start off, was the speaker engaged in positive communication? And yes, I believe that Carissa did a great job at positive communication. Something that I really found and saw in her conversation was civility, which is an essential part in dialogue, and it is what makes a lasting conversation as well as a respectful conversation. Um, and overall treating others with respect. I think that Carissa did a great job at this. An example that I saw was when Carissa and Jocelyn were talking about their siblings. Um, Jocelyn had actually asked Carissa a question about the names of her siblings, and that led them to go back and forth on the names of their siblings, and that showed great dialogue and respect for wanting to know the name of their siblings. I felt that was a great example for civility in a dialogue conversation. The second was listening behavior, and I think that Carissa also did a great job reflecting on and having listening behavior after what Jocelyn would say. I think the example that I wanted to focus on was when Jocelyn was talking about her dog. She started talking about her dog without Carissa asking anything. She started stating about her dog, and Carissa re-said what Jocelyn stated about her dog and then added to the conversation about her dog and her love for her dog. And I think that really added to the conversation because you could tell that Carissa was really listening to what Jocelyn was saying, to then ask her further questions and talk about Jocelyn's dog. 3, to convey interest. I think that Carissa did show a convey of interest multiple times during her conversation. The one that stood out to me was when Jocelyn was talking about playing the guitar. Carissa decided to stop on that conversation and bring it back and say, what is your favorite song to play on your guitar? And I think that really shows interest because talking about her guitar obviously seemed very important to Jocelyn, and Carissa caught on to that to then add and let her further talk about her love for playing the guitar, her favorite song, and that definitely brought another level to the conversation. 4, building commonalities when they were talking. I did pick up on this when they were talking about flying. Jocelyn is going abroad and she's never been on a plane before, and so they were able to find common ground because Carissa has flown on a plane or knows more information about flying. So Jocelyn was able to state what she knew about the guidelines of flying and kind of what happens when you fly, and Carissa was able to add on to that and tell her about more things and rules when flying. And I believe she talked about the size of bottles you can take on an airplane, like liquids and things like that. So I thought that was a good common ground for them to talk on since Carissa knew a little bit more about flying. 5 was questions, and the questions are being asked. I think that she had a lot of direct questions. Jocelyn would state something and Carissa would add a more direct question instead of a open-ended question. And an example that I saw where it could have been an opportunity for an open-ended question was when Jocelyn was talking about going abroad, and the direct question was, where are you going to study abroad? And I think that those were effective in this conversation, as at the beginning Jocelyn kind of led her own in talking about her. She kind of led into her own conversation, and so it was effective to have Carissa ask those very direct questions to talk about the conversation, or to lead on the conversation. I think that Carissa did a great job, and it was a very helpful video to see somebody else's conversation.